From the fiery throne of heaven, John saw a vision, 7 blazing lamps and 7 eyes of the Lord that searched the earth. What do these mysterious symbols mean? Are they connected to Isaiah's sevenfold spirit, to the menorah in the temple, or to God's eternal presence? Today, we will unlock one of the most powerful mysteries of Revelation, the 7 lamps and the 7 eyes. Part 1. Setting the scene. Before we dive into the meaning of the 7 lamps and the 7 eyes, let's consider the scene where John had this vision. In Revelation chapter 4, verse 5, John describes flashes of lightning, peals of thunder, and before the throne, 7 blazing lamps. But notice something interesting. This vision is not random. It's directly connected to another passage in the Bible, Zechariah chapter 4. Pay close attention to the similarities. There's a golden lampstand with 7 lamps and 7 eyes of the Lord. The holder and the 7 eyes are one. The 7 eyes are the eyes of the Lord that are upon the whole earth. The connection is clear. The same vision appears in both Zechariah and Revelation. So what does it all mean? Let's break it down. Part 2. The 7 lamps. First, let's focus on the 7 lamps. The word lamp means a source of light, often used to represent God's presence. And the number 7 symbolizes perfection and completeness. Now look at the menorah, the famous lampstand in the tabernacle and later in the temple in Jerusalem. It had 7 lamps without any spaces between them, signifying continuous and complete illumination. The menorah was a symbol of God's presence, dwelling among his people. It was a tangible reminder that they were not alone, but God was with them. When the lamp ran out of oil, it went out, symbolizing God's departure. And when it was filled with fresh oil, it glowed again, symbolizing God's restoration of his presence. Now John didn't actually see a physical lampstand, as he was in heaven, but a vision given to him by the Spirit. So the 7 lamps are not literal, but represent the fullness of the Holy Spirit. In other words, they represent God's presence among his people in the fullest, most complete way possible. Think about this, believers. The Spirit of God shines into the darkest corners of our lives and illuminates our path. We have the Spirit living inside of us, guiding and empowering us. No matter how dark things may seem, God's light shines through us and brings clarity and hope. The 7 lamps remind us of the abundance of God's presence and power within us. Part 3. The 7 eyes. Now let's turn our attention to the 7 eyes. The passage says they belong to the Lord and range throughout the earth. The eyes symbolize God's omniscience, his all-knowing nature. Nothing is hidden from his sight. He sees everything. In Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10, we read, "These 7 are the eyes of the Lord, which range throughout the earth." These eyes are not just for decoration or to add mystery to God's throne. They have a powerful meaning. They show us that God is all-knowing. He sees everything that happens on earth. He sees injustice, suffering, and even the secret struggles of people's hearts. But these eyes don't just observe. They care. They reveal God's deep concern for his creation. He doesn't remain distant or indifferent to what happens here on earth. Instead, he is actively involved. He sees our pain and he wants to help. Imagine facing persecution for your faith, like John and his audience did, or going through tough times because of your beliefs, like many Christians today. Knowing that God sees your struggles can bring comfort and strength. It's like having a friend who is always watching over you, ready to lend a helping hand. Remember 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, looking out for those who fear him. But he has a special love for those who follow his laws and commandments. God sees more than just our external actions. He looks into our hearts and understands our deepest struggles. He sees our faith, our commitment, and our faithfulness in following him. And he sees not just our weaknesses, but also our potential for growth and strength. Through his eyes, we see ourselves as he sees us, not just with judgment, but with love, compassion, and hope. For John and his audience, this would have been a message of great encouragement. God sees our pain. He knows our struggles, and he will bring justice and restoration. Part 4. Lamps plus eyes together. Why did John see both the 7 lamps and the 7 eyes? It's simple. The lamps represent light and revelation, showing the truth and guiding our path. The eyes represent vision and knowledge, symbolizing God's ability to see and know everything. Together, these images show the complete work of the Spirit, guiding, empowering, watching, and protecting us every step of the way. It's like having a personal guide and protector who is always with us and cares deeply for our well-being. This is the fullness of divine presence, the perfect Spirit at work in all places and at all times. Part 5. Application for today. So what should we take away from this passage? How can it help us in our daily lives? First, the 7 lamps challenge us. Are we walking in the light of the Spirit, or are we in darkness? Do we allow the Holy Spirit to guide us and empower us, or do we try to do things our own way? Second, the 7 eyes encourage us. God sees our struggles. Nothing is hidden from him. He sees our pain, our tears, and our unwavering faith. He strengthens us in our moments of weakness and helps us overcome our challenges. The Spirit of God is both the lamp that guides us and the eyes that protect us. He illuminates our path and watches over us, ensuring that we are never alone in our struggles. As we go through life, let us remember that God is always with us, guiding, empowering, watching over us. No matter how dark things may seem, the Spirit of God shines his light into our hearts and gives us strength to keep going. He sees us, he knows us, and he loves us. Conclusion. The 7 lamps and 7 eyes are not strange heavenly decorations. They are the perfect Spirit of God, burning brightly with light, watching with eyes of wisdom, guiding and protecting his people. John's vision reminds us that no matter how dark the world becomes, the Spirit of God is blazing, watching, and working for his kingdom. Truly, the Spirit is everywhere, shining as light and seeing as eyes. As we finish, let's remember that we serve a God who is deeply concerned about his creation. He doesn't just sit far away. He is actively involved in our lives. He sees our pain, our struggles, and our faithfulness. May this inspire us to live lives that are pleasing to him, filled with faith, hope, and love. May the Spirit of God continue to shine his light into our hearts and give us strength and courage to keep going, knowing that he is with us every step of the way.